Hello, my name is Paula Arias, and I'm going to introduce the lesson plan template for the Open and National Distance University. This lesson plan is focused in intermediate level of adolescents for the topic of simple past. The main aim is the use of the simple past tense. The specific objectives are to identify the difference of the regular and irregular verbs, recognize the use of the auxiliary did for the simple past tense, create conversations in the simple past, and answer questions in past. So as a warm-up, I will give the students some cards with verbs in the present tense. They must stick the verbs to one of the two lists in the board. One of the lists is going to have the regular verbs and the other list will have irregular verbs. Later on, I will hand them in another set of cards with the same verbs but in the simple past tense. And students will immediately recognize if they, first of all, recognize the verb in the past and immediately know if they made a mistake, if they organized it in a different place. So this is a warm-up that's going to last approximately 5 minutes, where we only require 2 sheets of cardboard and 2 sets of small cards, one for regular verbs and one for irregular verbs, and the board in order to paste them. As for the presentation step, I will explain the use of the simple past tense, the structure, and give some examples. For this, I require only a board and a marker and 10 minutes. Later on, for the practice stage, I will do 2 activities. First activity is where students will organize in groups and play Kahoot. While it's a way to practice the use of the verbs in the simple past tense. For this, we only require each student or each group to have a tablet or cell phone. And the activity will last 10 minutes. I am going to show you now how this activity looks like. This is Kahoot. These are the questions that will appear to the students. As you can see, there are some spaces in blank because the students have to choose the correct answer that corresponds to the sentence. They will do this with their cell phone. So this is the first activity. This activity is very dynamic. It's very good. And students enjoy it a lot. Students from all ages. The second activity that we will do, I will organize them in pairs, and they must work out a worksheet that will help them practice what they have learned in the simple past tense in all the forms, affirmative, negative, and interrogative. I will show you now. This is a simple past tense worksheet that I will be giving them. As you can see, the first part says to complete the sentences with the simple past of the verbs in parentheses. So here they will be practicing the verbs in past. Later on in part 2, they have to write the questions or negative sentence for each of these sentences. And in this part, I really like it because I can know that a student has really learned when he or she is able to transform an affirmative sentence into negative and interrogative. This is what we call the meaningful drill. So going back to the lesson plan, in these 2 practice activities, we will spend 25 minutes approximately. And in the production section that follows, students will take turns and switch places to ask themselves the following questions and create a conversation. So what I will do is that I will organize the chairs facing each other and make them change turns. Ask a question, change turns, like a blind date. The questions are: what did you do yesterday? Where did you live when you were a child? What school did you go to? What did you have for breakfast? What movie did you watch last week? What did you want to be when you were a child? In this activity, we will have approximately 10 minutes. And no material is required. Finally, for the assessment part, Students will write a short paragraph using the simple past to describe what happened in their day. This is a very simple activity that I can score from in the notebook that can last maximum 10 minutes, and where students can be able to express themselves in the simple past and express what they have learned. As an assignment, students must write a story in the simple past, a very short story. It can be a fairy tale, but using the simple past. As a total of the hours, it would be a maximum of 1 hour of class for the adolescents group. Thank you very much.